betrayal, resurrection, and justice. This is the Grimm story of the 3 snake leaves. Once there was a poor man's son who had nothing to his name, so he enlisted in the army and went to war. He was brave and loyal, and when the king saw his courage, he raised him in rank until the war ended and he was sent home with honors. But the young man had no home or trade to return to. Not wishing to idle away his life, he went to the kingdom's court to seek his fortune. There he learned the king had a daughter of great beauty, but she was peculiar. She had vowed only to marry a man who agreed to be buried alive with her if she died first. She swore she'd do the same if he died before her. Many had courted her and turned away because of this vow. But the soldier thought, "She is so beautiful. I'll marry her and take my chances." So he did. They lived together happily for some time. But then, the young queen fell ill and died. And because of his promise, the man was taken to a vault beneath the castle, laid beside her corpse, and sealed in with only a lamp, food, and water, meant to sustain him until his own death. As he sat by her side, watching her pale face in the lamplight, he saw a snake slither out of a crack in the wall and approach the body. Horrified, he drew his sword and killed the snake, slicing it into 3 pieces. Moments later, a second snake slithered from the same crack, saw its fallen companion and left, only to return with 3 green leaves in its mouth. It laid the leaves over the cut pieces of the snake's body, and the pieces knit together, and the snake rose, alive again. The 2 snakes slithered away. Amazed, the man took the 3 snake leaves and placed them gently on his wife's eyes and mouth. Slowly, she came back to life. He called to the guards, and the door to the vault was opened. The king was overjoyed to see his daughter alive again, and the soldier was praised as a miracle worker. But after being raised from the dead, the queen's love began to change. She became cold, distant, and eventually fell in love with another man, a sea captain. When the king sent his daughter and her husband on a sea voyage, the queen conspired with the captain and had her husband thrown overboard so she could claim he died naturally and marry the captain. But the soldier had wisely given the snake leaves to his loyal servant before the voyage. The servant, upon seeing his master thrown into the sea, retrieved the body, laid the snake leaves upon him, and the soldier was revived again. They returned to the king and told him everything. The king was filled with rage and horror at his daughter's betrayal. He decreed that the princess and her lover be placed in a ship riddled with holes and set adrift at sea, where they eventually sank beneath the waves. Unfortunately, some fairy tales are more vengeance than magic. This has been another nightly bedtime story. Sleep well and dream deep. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did,